Hello and welcome back to another video where I rant about everything. I hope everyone knows what the title of the video is, so if you're familiar with these two artists in the art commentary community, these two gentlemen are known for their commentary videos on being against Nazi imagery and necrophilia. Remember that later. These two gentlemen are YummiCactus and Junidrawz. They make commentary videos, speed paints, and artwork of their personas. It's also known that these two are dating, although they get into dramas or childish things. For example, they get into beef with Chrissy, or known as your triple blocked. You might have known Chrissy for their anti-pro ship art. Juni came out with two videos where he talks about Cupidite and his allegations against him. For example, you may have heard Cupidite sending CSAM to his server 6 times and collecting photos of his victims' pictures to send it to their ex-partner, Sapphire. This got to the point where Juni called the local police on Cupidite. However, 10 days later, Cupidite will post his response to Yumi and Juni and how they weren't innocent either. In the documents, there is a link that has document written by Juni's ex-friends. The summary ends here, and now I'm going to explain shortly on what Yumi and Juni did. Just a reminder that this all happened 6 months ago, where it happened around May 2025. Now let's get this over with. Yumi and Juni would get exposed for drawing necrophilia and make Nazi imagery of their sonas wearing World War II uniforms. Keep this in mind that this was all 6 months where they claimed that they were against Nazi imagery and necrophilia. However, later on, Juni made a video where he explained that he was groomed by that friend and how he was encouraged to do these things 6 months ago. 6 months ago. You're telling me that he got encouraged by his ex-friend 6 months ago, and all he did in these past months is make videos on serious topics? Be for real. It should not take him 6 months to realize that all of the stuff he did was bad. Now, this is the part where we realize that Juni is using this as a way to brush off his allegations. And honestly, he did a good job of doing that because everyone is believing his side of the story. And unfortunately, this is where I come to the start where I say I don't believe what Juni says. There are many reasons as to why I wouldn't necessarily believe what Juni says, especially after I read the documents. I believe you shouldn't be on Juni and Yumi's side just for the sake of your safety. Firstly, don't forget that Juni has tried to mass report Cupidite's channel by encouraging his friend to do so, not to mention encouraging harassment on Chrissy. In the documents, Juni would pretend to be on a spiral in order to gain attention on a server to which in definition spiraling refers to a negative emotional or mental state. As someone who has gone on a spiral, this is plain up disrespectful, and it honestly leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sorry for stuttering, I just don't really like when people fake that kind of stuff. This doesn't mean that I'm dissing on Juni getting diagnosed. I've seen their community post. I'm not dissing on that, but it's still weird to use spiraling as a manipulation tactic to manipulate others and gain attention from it. Secondly, Juni has claimed to hate receiving criticism, which I kind of get if you don't want to get criticized, and there's nothing wrong with that. But however, when you're giving out your opinions on every video you make, it's likely that you're going to get criticisms and disagreements. I mean, after all, that's what being a commentary creator is all about. But is calling those criticism harassment honestly funny? Yes it is. It shows that Juni can't take criticism. Just because you think blacklisting and deleting comments will keep you safe from the allegations doesn't mean it'll magically go away. Your reputation is already damaged. This doesn't mean Yumi is safe either, because this dude has revealed his actual age, to which he is 17 this year. This is mainly because people who have called Yumi out will use that against him. I also won't forget the fact that Juni manipulated Cupidite in order to gather information, for example, by claiming he had relationship struggles with Yumi. And remember when Juni claimed that he was forced to watch gore? That was a lie. Yumi asked for it in September, so in 6 months, you two didn't even think that all of this was weird. And speaking of Yumi, he has drawn his Sona getting his face sliced open, which was a reference to Miss Pac-Man. Although I won't say full details as to what it was about, but know that it was a gore video with a tragic backstory. But keep this in mind that Juni and Juni were not forced to watch gore, but instead have requested their friends to stream it instead. Thirdly, I want to talk about the whole I was groomed excuse. Keep this in mind that I am not dismissing Juni and Yumi's experience. I believe it's a tragic thing to go through, and I'm sorry for what happened to them. But in this situation where these two got into deep trouble, it's clear that they're putting the blame on their friends. What I will say at that point, 15 and 16 can be counted as grooming, but however, there was no power dynamic between the two. And Juni is 3 months older than their other friend, Mason. Do you see how unfair it sounds? Let's not forget the fact that Juni and Yumi practically accused Junidrawz of being Cupidite and harassing them over it. But the most part that stunned me the most was how they both thought Momo getting groomed was fake and perceived to make fun of their experience and wishing Cupidite to never recover, which is disgusting. As someone who was groomed a few times by trusted adults, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I look back at the document of Juni mocking Momo and Cupidite's dramas. If you claim that you were truly groomed, then you would not be dismissing Momo's experience. This goes to the same for Cupidite and everyone else you've talked about. The fact that there are people giving you sympathy and their own experience is terrible, and I feel sorry for them because they don't realize that you don't care. You're using it as a shield against the allegations against you. It is disrespectful, not just me, but everyone else who's felt bad for you. I do hope that you feel ashamed of yourself for lying to your audience and disrespecting everyone else around you. That's all my reasons. And honestly, I could have said more, but I wanted to be short enough to let everyone know that Yumi and Juni are not victims. I know that if they ever see this, they'll try to copyright strike my video, and if I'm being honest with myself, it proves my point more and it shows that they can't handle criticism. I could even unlist this video and yet share this across my social media and show some screenshots from the document. If you plan on calling Yumi and Juni out but can't make a video, sharing this video and documents helps a lot, and it shows that these two should be held accountable for their actions, and this time, no excuses. In conclusion, Yumi and Juni will probably try brushing the situation off and acting normal by saying they can get off the internet whatever they want. It's time that we stop giving them chances. It's clear that these two wouldn't be on the internet if Juni's mom knows about the situation itself. And considering the fact that Juni had got the police involved and they're currently on investigation, it kind of made me think that they're just saying this. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I find it hard to believe Juni's words, since they shouldn't be posting their artwork if they're getting investigated. If you watched my video until the end, I hope you consider liking this video if you agree. And if you watched the video until the end, then comment your thoughts on the situation so far, which you don't have to be afraid of commenting my video. I don't bite. And if you want to support me, then consider subscribing my channel so you could check updates even if I may die out. But there's always a way to see if I'm alive, which is by checking my social medias. I hope you have a good day and night, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!